we're starting a little bit delayed, but we do have a quorum now. So we will go ahead and call the meeting to order. If you will call the roll.
Mr. Brennan.
Present.
Mr. Burgess.
Present.
Ms. Wheaton. Mr. Herbert. Representative Howard. Mr. Lawson. Mr. Umbank.
Here.
Dr. Morris.
Here.
Mr. Smith. Mr. Racio.
Here.
Mr. Walker. You have a forum.
Thank you. That will bring us to item 2, the adoption of the agenda. That's on pages 1 and 2 of our packet. Yes. Yes.
Item 6C to executive session.
6C for executive session. If we have legal advice,
Is it a discussion about the terms of a contract?
Yeah.
It's appropriate for executive session.
thank you for that. So I'm just making a note here. So 6C will be an executive session item. Thank you for that. Any further discussion or updates for the agenda? Great.
Madam Chair, excuse me, I think that the Lucius Road update also needs to be moved into executive session for discussion of a potential legal claim.
Okay, and can you point me to which item? It's
Yeah,
6.
It's 6B and C.
Okay.
Now would be moved to executive session.
Thank you. Okay, so 6B, item 6B and C will be executive session items for today. And I see Mr. Green's hand is up.
Chairman, I don't have the updated agenda. Mine only has 6B on it. Was there an updated agenda?
I got an email, let's see, on Friday, notice of the comment Board of Directors meeting and packet for February 28th, 2024 at noon. That's the one that we're looking at today.
Not received that.
You did?
No, I didn't receive that. Not on Friday.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and, I'm actually forwarding it to you now.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Sorry. Actually, Ms. Jacobs, can you help with that?
Sure.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, moving on. So I think what we need to do, Mr. Green, is it okay if we vote on the agenda before you receive that email?
Yes, go ahead. I mean, go on with the meeting. I just wanted to get the agenda that you have.
Okay, perfect.
Continue on.
So we'll take the roll for the adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Brennan.
Yes.
Mr. Burgess. Ms. Wheaton. Mr. Herbert. Representative Howard.
We're done with the agenda.
Oh, okay, yes.
Mr. Lawson. Dr. Morris. Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Racio.
Yes.
Mr. Umbank. Councilman Walker. Motion carries.
Thank you. That'll bring us to item 3, the Midlands Transit Riders Association update. We have Mr. Durst here, and then do you also want to introduce our new person? Thank you.
So as I said in the service committee meeting a couple of weeks ago, that I am stepping back from coming to the comment meetings for a while. As I'm representing the NCRA. As Steve Seymour is going to be replacing me at the meetings summer. And he's promised to behave himself for a whole bit. Know his history. But you're not going to get rid of me altogether. Just watch out. That's But in other news, I want to thank y'all for addressing the issue with the windows. The windows are now sealed and we think that that's going to be a big plus for going forward. So, thanks very much.
Thank you. Mr. Seymour, would you like to go ahead and take your turn?
Some of you know me, some of you don't. Those that know me probably not glad to see me. I'm Keith Seymour. I'm a member of the MTRA. I now drive because I have to. I'm still a, and I will keep the yelling to a minimum. Yeah, I told Paul that I would fill in and do it about people at times. Thanks for allowing me.
Thank you. All right, let's see. And then, Diane, Marion, thank you for your patience. Would you want to go ahead and address those?
Good afternoon, board. I have several concerns. My concern first is about the ceiling of the buses on the comic. Where there is no ventilation. I'm a bus rider for over 20 years. We have coughing, sneezing, and different smells and stuff that's there on the bus that don't really ventilate out. I used to be where I can open the window and close it and no fresh air is coming in and going out of that bus. Now I look around, it's like I'm sealed in a cage where I have no freedom to open the window to get fresh ventilation. Yesterday, people's around me in front of me, sneezing and coughing all over me. No windows I can open for no fresh air to come in. I'm concerned about my health as well as other bus riders' health. It may be where some of the windows may have been broken or something like that, but not to fix those. Instead of caging us in, I feel that I have no freedom to open and get fresh air in. And my second concern is about the cleanness of the comic buses. They are not clean like they're supposed to be. I get on the buses every day looking at a seat where there may be a stain where somebody don't sit in. The seat is not clean. I look at the floors sometimes where there may be a stain where the floors could be cleaner than that. And that is my concern. I get on the bus where there's a lot of riders and stuff. And I have no other choice but to ride that bus to get back and forth where I'm going. So therefore, I have to sit in that seat or take one of my sanitation napkins out and clean the seat. Well, I don't think that I should be responsible for the cleanness of those buses. And also, the one at Crossing Road is a super stop where people and stuff get on and off and can sit in a place with cover over them. A lot of times there are people sleeping on those benches where they don't urinate it. Smells and stuff is there. It's not clean like it's supposed to. I have to wait 30 minutes to an hour for my next bus. So me as being a bus rider and a bus payer have to stand up because I'm scared to sit in those nasty seats for 30 minutes to an hour till the next bus comes. And I don't think it's fair to me or any bus rider that rides and pays that we have to do that. And I thank y'all for your time and concern. And this really matters to me because my health is on the line with all of us. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to come here and speak to us. And I know that staff has heard that, so. Okay, that'll bring us to, well, we've already done the call to the public. Sorry, I didn't announce that. That was the call to the public. And everyone that has signed up has had a chance to speak. That'll bring us to item 5, our consent calendar. The consent calendar is 5A, approval of the January 24th, 2024 board minutes. Those are found on pages 3 through 7 of our agenda packet. And 5B, the submission of the invoice check registers. Those are on pages 8 through 26 of our agenda packet. Is there a motion regarding the consent calendar?
So moved.
Moved and
Second.
properly seconded. Thank you so much. Ms. Jacobs, will you take the roll?
Mr. Brennan,
Yes.
Mr. Burgess,
Yes.
Ms. Layton, Ms. Herbert, Representative Howard,
Yes.
Mr. Lawson, Dr. Morris, Mr. Smith, Ms. Gracio,
Yes.
Mr. Unthank,
Yes.
Councilman Walker. Motion passes.
Thank you. That will bring us to item 6, our discussion and action items. As we mentioned before, 6B and C will be executive session items. So we'll just discuss 6A, our service update. Mr. Cooksey.
Yeah, so good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to, reports on pages 27 through 41. But I wanted to highlight our employee of the month, Mr. James Toll. He has 6 kids, he's married, he enjoys going to church, and very active in his church. He's a huge Washington Commanders football fan, and he's been with us 10 years, so we'd like to congratulate him for, just constantly being a fantastic employee. As far as how we performed for the month of January, we had good, strong showings in our preventable accidents, targets, meeting those targets, exceeding those targets actually there, customer service complaints, miles between road calls, our paratransit, on-time performance. We did see a slight bump in our fixed route on-time performance. We did have a service change that was late January, so taking that into account, we did see an increase there. I did add in, just for everyone to see, an on-time performance comparison. I called some of our peers around the country, just wanting to get an idea of how other systems were doing, during this time. So I included that in. I have a few more coming in. I can tell you it was a little challenging finding that information from everyone. That's not readily available in some places. But you can kind of see where we're sitting at now. We've been doing a lot of work as far as our on-time performance over the last month, taking a deeper dive into, some of the challenges that we see and that we're running into. So I'll be reporting out more on that in the upcoming things that'll be happening in that area. And as far as some of the major challenges that we ran into in January as well was the flu. It did impact us as far as having our operators available. But it seems like we've kind of gotten past that portion. So very good on that. And also want to report, we're having a job fair tomorrow. So we're super excited about our job fair. So we got some shortages in that area. So we are definitely hiring for bus operators. We also reached out to some veteran groups as well. So hopefully we get some of them to come in and be a part of that. So that concludes my report. I'm open for any questions.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Burgess.
Didn't we just let a new bus cleaning contract?
We do. Weren't satisfied with the current one. So there's a new one starting March 1st. So yeah, we've identified there's some opportunities there. So we should be seeing some improvement.
How about on the window ceiling? We developed that as a policy, right?
That was a directive to have that happen, or how I understood that to happen. So I'm not sure in reference to.
So we should let the riders know that they just can't open windows.
That's correct.
So that's forward common policy.
That has been taken care of. It was taken care of within 3 weeks of it.
One other thing, Madam Chair, do we have a new board member?
Yes,
All right, well, would
and
you give this young man a chance to introduce himself?
thank you. I was gonna address guest during the chair part, but Mr. Unthank, you're no stranger to us, but welcome.
Well, thank you. It's great to be a voting member and I'm looking forward to being an active part and participant. So
Fantastic. Thank you so much, and thank you for that purchase. Yes,
Yeah, next, the windows, if possible, we can have a discussion on that out of the executive session. Get some update on how you came to that conclusion about closing the windows, just close the windows as it. I think we need to be involved in the discussion. I think there's validity to, not having some level of ventilation. And so, maybe someone can give us a reason as to why it happening. Is there an alternative to that? It would violate any type of safety measures by having all those windows closed. The bus have a front exit and a back exit and the doors.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, at the appropriate time, I'd like to have a discussion on that.
thank you. And I'll just say,
I think this would be the appropriate time, not executive session.
we can go ahead and, that was a discussion of our last meeting. So, we can, if anybody wants to, and I also want to acknowledge Mr. Green's hands up. Mr. Green, did you have a question regarding this, or can we move forward with this discussion?
I did, and I was just asking, are the buses air conditioned? For during the summer, or are they not?
Yes. Yes, sir. They're air conditioned and heated, correct.
Thank you. Anything further, Mr. Green?
Just have the same concerns of sealing all the windows shut. I understand, but to seal them all, I think is a little bit of a drastic measure. Okay, that's all.
Did staff want to address the kind of history and how this all came about?
Sure,
Okay.
we had, I'll start it off here. We had numerous issues, complaints with the number of the windows on the buses. And it was that they would, and we've all been out, we've looked at the windows, and sometimes if you just tap on a window or two, it'll just fall open. So as the bus is traveling down the road, it just falls open. If there's inclement weather, it's cold outside, that window falls open. So we wanted to address the issue very quickly. And what a lot of transit systems are going to are transom windows. And those are just solid windows on the side. So there's no ability to open up a window. There is an exit at the front. There is an exit at the back of the bus, but there are also safety breakout windows also throughout the bus. So there's the ability to be able to exit the bus quickly. And we, if you want to add any more to that, Lenny, and then we also have the maintenance supervisor here that would be able to speak to us regarding the how the system works and the movement of the air through there, to let everybody know that there is good air coming in and then bad air going out.
Yeah, Tim, you don't mind, would you stand up and just talk a little about that?
Okay, I'm Timothy Goodwin, maintenance supervisor. I've been working here almost 14 years. Then the buses are air conditioned and heated. And what happens in the case when the air conditioner is during the summer or when it's warm, the air conditioning system is activated by the driver. When we have the temperature set at 68 degrees, just like you do on your thermostat at home. When that bus the temperature gets within 5 degrees, the fans go to 50% operation. You got 2 condenser fans up top that's pulling fresh air in. When they get within 2 to 3 degrees, they go down to 25%. And they stay at that place. If the temperature drops, then the fan speed picks up. Same thing with the heating, the heating temperature. Now, if it's in one of those situations where it's not hot enough for the air conditioning system, not cold enough for the heating system, there's a ventilation system where the driver just put it in ventilation and it's constantly drawing fresh air from the outside, the top of the bus, inside the bus. And we have in the right where the wheelchair two seats are, where you tie wheelchair passengers in, there's a filter system there. It's drawing that air from the inside of the bus and recirculating it back through, cleaning it to make sure and combining it with the fresh air from outside of the bus. So you're getting fresh air in. And I understand your concern with that, but if I had to ride the bus every day, it wouldn't bother me at all, because it's the fresh air is coming in the bus constantly, whether it's heat, AC, or if it's just a ventilation system.
So the ventilation system that you're talking about,
It's within the bus.
that's within the bus.
Yes, ma'am.
I can look up and see that it's open where fresh air is
Yes, ma'am.
coming in
And if
and
you
out.
look through those little honeycomb filters, you will see it's a filter that covers that entire area. And when we do our regular PMs on the bus, we take that filter out, clean it. If it can't be cleaned, we replace the filter. And that's done on each one of our PMs. That's one of the checks. Yes, sir.
So can you speak to what is the filtering? I mean, it's, there's different levels of filters, obviously, but for health concerns and ventilation, is it?
As far as I know, the only thing really is, it's not a submicron filter. So it's basically just filtering out any dust or contaminants. So it's not pulling any contaminants that may be inside the bus.
Is that just a function of, if we decided, could we upgrade to those types of filters?
We'll have to contact New Flyer to see if that's a different type filter. But since I've been here, it's equivalent to your standard filter you use on your HVAC system at home, but instead of it being a paper filter, it's a fiber filter that we are able to wash and clean.
Well, they try and upsell me on when they come to check my AC, so I'm sure they can try and upsell you. So I'd love to hear any options that
My manager know about.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions?
Anything else? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Green, did you finish, or did you just have your hand up from before? Okay, Rep. Howard.
Yes, thank you. Well, I'd just like to make sure that there's an option to satisfy the bus riders who's concerned about their health. Figure out what we are ventilating. And I don't know if you have to go back to just being able to open a few windows, windows on one side or something. Let's just come up with some type of alternative that will satisfy the riders. Because, we're not riding the bus. We want people to feel comfortable that their health is not violation, particularly with COVID and everything. So,
We'll be sure to provide some options. We'll look at some options to see what we can do as far as upgrading filters and then the window option. But the other side effect of having the option to open up windows is, and we get numerous complaints about this every year during the winter and during the summer, that the windows are open, the bus isn't cooling down, or the windows are open, the bus is too cold. So we have multiple interested parties wanting different things. And we have to come to a conclusion.
Is Rep. Howard, anything else?
no, ma'am, that's all.
Okay, all right, thank you. Anything else from the board? Thank you for that update, and thank you for that discussion. Okay, so if 6B and C will be executive session, we'll move on to item 7, our motion period. Do we have any motions from board members?
Madam Chairman, do we make motions from the service committee during the service committee
You can.
or during the motions period?
In general, I believe if it's coming from the committee, it should be part of the committee.
Okay, then I'll wait.
Thank you. All right, so that'll bring us to our progress reports. And so item 8 starts with the chair report and executive committee update. So I just want to take a moment and acknowledge our new voting board member once again. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all the other meetings that you've been here in your capacity. And we look forward to having you fully present as a voting member and as a committee member. Yes. I also want to acknowledge Jennifer Necker is here from SCDOT. So thank you for being here to listen in on our meeting. And obviously, if you have any questions or want to make connections, I know you're connected with staff, but happy to connect with you directly. And then the last piece from me will be, we will be convening a transportation penny ad hoc committee. And so I'd love to have that committee start meeting, pretty soon. And I'd like to hear from the board about the size of the committee. So we have to have an odd number. It's generally a 3-person committee or a 5-person committee. Does anybody have preferences regarding a potential transportation penny, Richland County transportation penny ad hoc committee? The name gets longer every time I say it. Okay. Yeah, it will be an important part of the future of the COMET. So just want to get input from the board. Yes, Mr. Brennan.
Madam Chairwoman, I think we've all expressed that we are on a tight timeline to work with the county on this. So it's important, whoever is put on that board is ready to roll up their sleeves and really get to work over the next 60 days. I would tend to think smaller is quicker for that. So would be happy to donate my time if called on.
Okay. Thank you. I hope to name that ad hoc committee within the next couple of days, probably before the end of the business week. So please feel free to reach out if you have thoughts about that. We don't need to go into a long discussion today to keep the meeting moving, but I do want to hear from folks about that. Okay. That'll bring us to our committee chairs update. Our service committee still has Ms. Mood's name on it, so that brings a smile to my face. But I believe that Mr. Brennan is standing in from service committee, or you at least have a report out.
I have a motion out.
You have a motion out.
I don't have the notes from it.
Okay.
But so Madam Chairwoman, are you appointing? How does the new appointment of the service chair work?
Then, well, I believe that what will happen is because our previous chair is no longer a member of the board, what will happen is that the next time the service committee meets, the committee will vote on their chair. Okay. But yes, I do understand that there's a motion from the service committee, and I'd love to hear that.
Yes, Madam Chairwoman, I make a motion to support Director Pearl's recommendation that we put the trolleys, I believe that's 2 trolleys, up for auction.
Thank you.
And if Director Pearl wants to elaborate on that as a form of summary from the service committee, please do.
You would speak to that motion?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I would be happy to. We have 2 trolleys that are currently on site. I would say in service, but they've been on site for quite some time now. They are trolleys number 1916 and 1917. We did receive those from Lansing, Michigan. And as anybody would know from a northern state, any vehicle comes from the north, there are multiple issues with that. So maintenance has been encountering that. So to date, we have spent $62,472 on the trolleys and getting them up to roadworthy status. However, the general condition of the trolleys does not allow them to be put into service. Some of the major issues that we've been encountering, the frames, the subframes are rusted, and there are cracked windows due to the rust around the window frames. The exterior wood needs to be reconditioned and or replaced, and there are exhaust leaks also. The Federal Transit Administration does not have a financial interest in the trolleys, and they are beyond their useful life. And one thing that we are just trying to clean up what we have currently, and the trolleys are counted in our revenue fleet, and that is affecting our spare ratio. So that's another thing. So due to the significant cost to repair the trolleys and to get them roadworthy, the limited use. They've only had 16,812 miles put on them since 2020. Mechanical issues, and that was the recommendation to the service committee, is to retire the 2 trolleys and to send them to auction.
Thank you. So you've heard the recommendation, and the background on that. I see, Mr. Walker has joined us. Welcome, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Did you get a chance to hear the motion?
I did not.
Okay. Mr. Brennan, do you want to repeat the motion, or?
Yes, Madam Chairman,
Okay.
I make a motion to move forward with Mr. Pearl's recommendation to sell the 2 trolleys at auction.
And any further discussion from the board? Yes, Dr. Morris.
Madam Chair, I know we spoke very highly of those trolleys when we purchased them. And as Mr. Pearl alluded to, yes, you have a lot of salt and from the northern states because of this large amount of snow, and they deteriorate quite frequently. But I'm a little disappointed that we didn't check into that before we were given those trolleys. And I think in the future, I hope this is a learning lesson, and in the future, we need to do a better job checking things before we purchase them.
May I speak to that?
Yes.
And of course, that was back in 2020, and as far as what we would do today, obviously, we would send maintenance to review any vehicle that we would be acquiring from another transit agency prior to moving forward with that. And personally, excuse me, at another property, I have done that. I send maintenance out, maintenance reviews it, and then provides feedback as to whether we can accept those vehicles. So going forward, we absolutely will be.
I have a question. My curiosity is around the market for, if we have not been able to use them because of their status, would they be would other folks maybe be interested in them for parts? Could you maybe just speak to the market for that?
We could, based on what maintenance has said, there is limited use for parts for the trolleys. There has been some discussion, it would be best for those just to be parked and not moved, just due to the condition of the frames and the condition of the vehicle itself. But there is a market out there for that. We would have to explore that. But once we put those up for auction, typically, if anybody does have an interest in it, they will see that. And we can definitely reach out to other transit agencies as well and see if there's an interest.
Thank you. Yeah, Rep.
Yes, question. Why are we not buying new trolleys? I thought they were pay flow, but they donated or what?
Sorry.
We paid for those.
So what's the reason for buying some used trolleys? I mean, we can't afford to get new ones, or they're very expensive.
I would highly recommend not to procure another trolley like that in the future. There are other vehicles that are out there that are buses that are made to resemble a trolley, that have a better foundation, a better structure, just an overall better vehicle than the trolleys.
And how many did we purchase?
2.
So we're trying to dispose of 2.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Anything further on that item? Okay, we'll go ahead and take a vote.
Okay, Mr. Brennan.
Yes.
I'm sorry, did we get a second?
Brennan.
Burgess, okay. Mr. Brennan,
Yes.
Mr. Burgess. Yes. Ms. Clayton, Ms. Herbert, Representative Howard.
Yes.
Mr. Lawson,
Yes.
Dr. Morris,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Racio,
Yes.
Mr. Unthank,
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. That will move us on to B, our Finance Committee update. Dr. Morris.
Yes. Madam Chair, we basically invited Representative from Chernoff Newman to our last finance committee meeting. And it was a contractual, we went into the executive session and discussed some contractual issue. When we came out of executive session, Mr. Silver suggests that he should come to the board and share with the board some of the things he's doing, particularly in regards to the penny. And we think that that is a great idea. We know we have another 7 to 8 months, the maximum before the penny. And the sooner we can get him in to share and make suggestions in terms of what the board can do, I think would be quite helpful. That's all I have.
Thank you. And Dr. Morris, in thinking about the Richland County Transportation Penny Ad Hoc Committee, in your opinion, do you think it would be advisable to invite to have discussion within that committee with Mr. Silver?
I don't see anything wrong with that. I have he's out there working and he has great suggestions in terms of things we can do.
Okay.
And I would say invite him and let him share with us his expertise.
Thank you.
Is your contract with the county for the marketing services for the penny? And it's
Yeah,
He's doing something for the county.
I believe they're working I believe they're working alongside the PIO office, but I
okay.
don't know.
Yeah.
I agree.
Madam Chair, may I interject?
Yes, Ms. Finer Reed.
Yes, they, Mr. Brennan, yes, they are.
Thank you.
Yes.
So does that mean we have access to his experience, knowledge about marketing for the penny, or do we need to?
Yeah. Yes, he's actually working with us, and he is working with Richland County.
Okay.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for your help in clearing that one up. Anything further from Finance Committee?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad you all had a good discussion. That'll bring us to item C, our intermodal committee update. Mr. Brennan, is there any report out from?
Not this time.
Okay, thank you. And then our executive staff update, Mr. Pearl.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On page 74, just would like to highlight a couple of the activities. I've been participating in the monthly Transportation Penny Advisory Committee meetings. I went to the county council meeting, signed up and introduced myself to all of the county council members, and staff and I met with SCDOT staff. And there have been multiple Richland County Council transportation meetings regarding the penny tax, and I've been attending those for the past couple of weeks and fielding any questions in regards to the comment. Also attended the APTA, American Public Transportation Association Transit CEO Seminar.
Thank you. And those county council meetings, those are the district ones.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. All right, thank you for that. Anything for Mr. Pearl?
Yeah, yes, sir. What's the feedback you're hearing about transportation and comment as it comes to those penny conversations with residents?
It has been fairly positive. There hasn't been really any negative comments. We did have a couple of members wanting to ride a bus. So we're trying to get that scheduled and be able to take them on a special bus ride. So other than that, it's just more looking at more additional service throughout the Midlands region is what I've been hearing.
Thank you. That will bring us to our Chief Financial Officer, Ms. Andrews.
Hello, everyone. My report's found on page 76. The way it outlines all the glorious that is finance and accounting. If you have any future questions or further questions, I'm here to answer.
Anything for Ms. Andrews?
Madam Chair, I have a question for her, but I don't know whether it will come under her report, or should we wait till we get to executive session? This is in reference to a check on page 22, the third check. There are $7,000+ we are paying for the on page, as I said, for Lucius Road. Should we wait until executive session to discuss this? It's my understanding.
What check was that?
All right, attorney said we should wait.
If it's about Lucius Road, that will be one of the,
I think he's asking about the Dominion Energy payment. That's what that is for this site. So that 7,000 is a combination of our electric bill and the natural bill that we pay to the gas bill to Dominion Energy.
So we are not paying them for work they are correct.
No, that's Dominion Energy, our regular utility bill.
So looking at that one, that would be there's the $44.39.
No, the 74,000, I mean, 7,485, is that the number you're talking about?
7,485.
Like third line down, page 22.
The 3,800 Lucius Road parking lot. Is that this parking lot?
So anything Dominion Energy is our utility bill. So when we have Lucius Road, that's this site, because we have several meters around. So we have one for the fuel island, we have one that services the parking lot, and something that services the building. So that's what, if you see 1224 Laurel Street, that's for downtown with Dominion Energy. If you see 3613 Lucius Road, that's this. The 3813 is the, I'm sorry, 3,800 is the parking lot across the street, but you see it's only $44. So it hasn't had any big usage yet, but that's just utility only.
Thank you. That will bring us to Dr. Prince, our Civil Rights Officer.
Good afternoon. The regulatory compliance and PD report found on pages 77 through 84 the board packet. And pages 77 through 80 are the staff reports on monthly activities. And I just want to share with you that I mentioned at the last board meeting that FTA will be doing their final review this month, this year. They have given us dates, and they will conduct a review, which will be July 17th through the 19th. And we have until tomorrow to submit them several documents. They haven't informed us if they will be coming on site or if it will be a virtual review. I think they'll wait until they review up the documents that were sent in, and then they'll let us know for sure which one it is. Also on pages 81 through 82 is a summary of and a snapshot of all vendors with DTE goals. As of the end of December 2023, we had paid vendors $69.3 million. And of this amount, 17.7 million, or 25.6% were awarded to DTE firms. And also on pages 83 through 84, is information relative to our contractor, RATP Dale. And their payments BDE firms, and as of, and we always look at a cumulative, where we are from a cumulative standpoint. And as of back in July 1st, 2020, up through December 31st, 2023, RATP Dale had awarded $14.3 million to BDE firms, which represents approximately 22.6% of their 20.06% goal. And page 84 just captures the fiscal year goals for this tracking purposes only. And I also want to share that I'm a member of the Transportation Association of South Carolina. I serve as a secretary. And TAS is hosting a legislative reception on Tuesday, March 5th, starting at 5:30 p.m. at the USC Alumni Center. And just want to inform you of that. And if you don't have anything to do, please put it on your calendar.
we are one of the sponsors, so please come and enjoy whatever we're paying.
I got to go last year. It was a really nice reception. So thank you for extending that invitation.
Is my report.
Thank you. Ms. Bynner Reed, our public information officer report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My regrets that I'm not there in person. I am away on leave handling some personal business. But my report is found in your packet. And I would like to address what we're doing as it pertains to what we're calling the value of the comet and as it pertains to what we've done with the penny over the last 12 or so years. We will be rolling out a series of op-eds that under Mr. Pearl. And we have also done a soft rollout on social media of our different statistics. And we will have a specific webpage up that addresses all of the things that we have done as far as being responsible for the penny that we have obtained. We're meeting weekly, actually. And then we'll have, Mr. Pearl, is it every 2 weeks with the other meeting? Anyway, so we're having several meetings in conjunction with the people at Richland County to make sure that we're singing from the same songbook, and we'll begin to go out together, them doing their part, us doing our part as far as our responsibility with the Richland penny. I'll entertain any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Bynner Reed? Hearing and seeing none, thank you for that, and we will see you next time. That will bring us to 9 executive session. We have 2 items for executive session. They were 6B and 6C. 6B will be is Lucius and River update. That is we will receive legal counsel, and then 6C, the marketing RFP, where we will discuss a contractual matter. Okay, is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Take the vote to go to executive session.
Mr. Brennan.
Yes.
Mr. Burgess.
Yes.
Slayton. Ms. Herbert. Representative Howard.
Aye.
Mr. Lawson.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Racio.
Yes.
Mr. Unthank.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Brennan.
Yes.
Mr. Burgess. Ms. Slayton. Ms. Herbert. Representative Howard. Mr. Lawson.
Yes.
Dr. Morris.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Racio.
Yes.
Mr. Unthank.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. She had 2 items in executive session. One was for legal counsel and the other was for a contractual matter. I'll entertain a motion on the items that we discussed in executive session.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Walker.
entertain a motion to approve the contract with Flock and Rally as discussed in executive session.
Motion
Second.
moved and seconded. Any further discussion on that item? Okay, hearing and seeing none, we'll call the vote for that item.
All right, Mr. Brennan. Mr. Burgess.
Stay.
Ms. Clayton. Ms. Herbert. Representative Howard.
Yes.
Mr. Lawson.
Yes.
Dr. Morris.
No.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Racio.
Yes.
Mr. Unthank.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. That brings us to item, I believe it's 10. Yes, 10, adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move.
Moved, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, great job today, everybody. Thank you.